Hello, good people. It's Rob Lee. We're going to try this again. Here's my email, and here's the name of the website. And I've got a couple doctor's appointments, and I'm going to try to get right on it. And everything is at the appointed time, so we'll just go from there. But it's meant to happen. But it was never meant to happen, obviously. When I said that it would happen, it's going to happen when our Father says it's going to happen. I want to show you a few clips of a video about hate, the epitome of diabolical hate, and what's coming your way, what's coming our way, and for us not to fear it, and for us not to shun it. Everybody talks about immigration, the invasion. They talk about this. It's a relentless issue. Most of you who understand what's really going on, you know that it comes from corporations, it comes from banks, it comes from some of the most evil creatures that walk this earth, and a hatred toward a certain segment of society, and many of those people are the children of the Almighty Father. I'm not telling you to hate back. In fact, I'm telling you to pray. Pray. I've never told you to hate back. I've told you to pray. So that's what we're going to do. After we watch this, we're going to pray, and we're going to understand what we need to do to prepare for it.
Europe has not yet learned how to be multicultural, and I think we're going to be part of the throes of that transformation, which must take place. Europe is not going to be the monolithic societies that they once were in the last century. Jews are going to be at the center of that. It's a huge transformation for Europe to make. They are now going into a multicultural mode, and Jews will be resented because of our leading role. But without that leading role and without that transformation, Europe will not survive.
Isn't that what is really happening today, both in Europe and perhaps in other parts of the world, this very intense clash between ostensibly secular and ostensibly religious worldviews?
Yes, this is exactly what is happening. There is a clash of civilizations. And we, the Jews, we are in the middle of this clash of civilizations. On one side is what happened in Paris and Brussels, and that children who walk with the kippah in the streets in Paris are being attacked. On the other side, what we have the counter-reaction of old Europe. We have the laws against limiting religious freedom in Switzerland, against the minarets, in France against the burqa, the attempted law in Germany against circumcision, the attempted law in Holland and in Poland against halal or kosher meat. So this is the reaction of old Europe against this new wave of religious expression.
So essentially what you're saying is that in these both you're together with both Muslims
yes.
and people of other denominations.
And we see ourselves together, fighting together with our Muslim brothers who want a free Europe, who want a peaceful Europe, who want to integrate like our forefathers integrated in Western Europe 120 years ago, and they are our natural allies.
So how many people in Europe would be eligible under the law of return to move here?
3 million, 4 million maybe altogether. It could change the geopolitics.
What do you mean that it could change the geopolitics?
You know, the demography is the key of everything, as you know. Between the Jordan and the Mediterranean, this is the borders, 10 million people, about 500,000 Jews and 500,000 Arabs. And if we want to remain a democratic state, we have to have a majority of Jews in this place.
So you think that immigrants could turn the balance?
Absolutely sure. Already we have the birth rate among Arabs is decreasing and the birth rate among Jews is increasing. So it's already a change. The train of history is on its way.
That he's going to take in 20,000 refugees over 5 years. The Germans took in 10,000 on one day. What kind of comparison is that? I recognize the financial problems. I recognize the assimilation problems. But if we don't do it now, we will live to regret it for the rest of our lives.
Second thing in that black box, an unrelenting stream of immigration. Non-stop. Non-stop. Fewer than 50% of the people in America from then and on will be white European stock. That's not a bad thing. That's a source of our strength.
All right, after watching that, and I know it may be hard for you to watch it, it's hard to see someone openly talk about killing you. I mean, it's hard to accept, but this is the truth, and this has been foretold. It was promised by your father a long time ago. There's no need for you to get so upset about it. Now, when you read the words of somebody like Tim Wise, who says that you're white people on the endangered list, and unlike, say, the bald eagle or some exotic species of muskrat, you are not worth saving. In 40 years or so, maybe fewer, there won't be any more white people around. Now, this is Tim Wise, who is a devil, a Babylonian devil, who claims to be an anti-racist activist. And then Barbara Lerner Spector, who was in the video, who made the absolutely asinine comment that how would Europe survive unless you have this influx of people? Well, how have God's children survived since the very beginning? It goes far deeper. It has to do with Jesus Christ. It has to do with the Almighty Father. But read the comment, the hypocrisy from Barbara Lerner Spector. It says, since coming back to Twitter, I've spent most of my time blocking racists who troll my account. Twitter needs to crack down on racist trolls. Think about where this evil monster's mindset is, that she sees people who question her words and her behaviors as racist, but she cannot see the hatred that is within her. That's because they are genetically created evil. They are created evil for a reason. They are your adversary. Your father is going to cast them into a fire. Listen to what I'm telling you. The Almighty Father says that his children are fearfully and wonderfully made, and that he knows everything about us because he created us. You see, this is bigger than just us. It has to do with our Father and Jesus Christ. They want to mock and ridicule and erase what your Father created. That's what this is really about. They want to destroy who and what we are. And there's no need for you to get so upset about it. Listen to what I'm telling you. This is bigger. Do you think any of the people that we looked at have any love for Jesus Christ? No, just the opposite. They have nothing but contempt and hatred for Jesus Christ. And this behavior is promoted all over social media. I mean, all over the entire spectrum of social media. Websites, YouTube, Google, Twitter, Facebook. It's promoted in the mainstream media. It's promoted in Hollywood, music, movies, TV shows. It started 2,000 years ago. 5,000 years ago, 6,000 years ago, 100 years ago in Russia. It's been going on since the very beginning. You will not hear this talked about in churches at all, because the churches are funded and they are pushed by the same monsters who are behind it. They have used wolves in sheep's clothing to manipulate the people and believe them that there is a certain sect of society that is above the rest, when in all actuality they are the antithesis of everything that is our Father. The churchgoers have turned the star of Remphan, the star of the devil, over Jesus Christ, and they will have to suffer for it, and it will be incredibly painful. You will not hear this diabolical behavior talked about on Alex Jones. It will not happen again, because he serves the same master. You will not hear somebody like Colin Flattery, who's always pointing out black crime, but you will never hear him pointing out the crime of Remphan, the children of Cain. You simply will not hear it, because they all work for them. And they will blame it on such people as the Freemasons, the globalists. Listen, people, Freemasons, Bilderbergs, all these groups answer to what's called the Kahila. 300 of the most evil, wretched monsters that walk this earth. And all of them serve the Kahila. And if you don't know this, then you really don't know what's going on. They all answer to that. I believe in free speech. I believe in even giving these monsters the right to say what they believe. However, the evil that is in them and the hypocrisy that is in them will not allow me to say and to turn around and even counter their evil and diabolical beliefs. Again, I'm not telling you to hate. I am telling you to pray, because this does not have to come to your door personally. It doesn't. It doesn't have to come to your door personally. Romans 1:18 says, for the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. Now this describes Google, this describes the current beast system and those who follow it. What you're seeing, folks, is prophecy. This is the gospel of Matthew, the words of Jesus Christ, the wheat and the tares. This is the words of Jesus Christ again in Revelation 12:15 through 17, when the serpent set a flood out of his mouth, a flood of people. This is Revelation 16, the kings of the east, the ancient Babylonians. This is Mystery Babylon. This is all prophecy, and it's playing itself out. Jeremiah 10:10 says, "But the Lord is the true God. He is the living God and an everlasting King. At his wrath the earth shall tremble, and the nations shall not be able to abide his indignation." I want to read something to you from George Mason from here in my home state. As history has shown, it is a common tactic for the oppressing force to gain control of a nation by seizing the means by which individuals might defend themselves. Once the citizenry are disarmed, it is a relatively easy matter to exert the complete tyrannical control. It seems to me that the same principle holds true in the spiritual realm. You see, this is why they have controlled the churches, and this is why they want to take the ability for people to defend themselves. This is what it is, and I'm not telling you to hate. I'm telling you to pray to your Father. The majority of the world are going to go through the night, and they will never have a clue what's going on until hell comes upon them. And this will happen. This will happen, I promise you. Your Father is omniscient. Your Father makes no mistakes, people. His knowledge never increases or decreases. Nothing catches your Father by surprise. Your Father has never said, oops, because everything is his doing. Everything. I want to close it with this. I want you to hear something. These are Edom, okay? This is Edom. These are the Edomites. And it's so deep that I can't possibly put it in just a couple minutes. But this is what your Father says about Edom. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, because they're always playing the victim. But we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. Forever. The words of Jesus Christ, 14 through 18 in Revelation 19, 14 through 16 here. And the armies which are in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, to fatally strike. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and the wrath of the Almighty God. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Fear not, people. Jesus Christ is coming, and he's coming for them, and they know it. And this is all a part of prophecy, and it's playing itself out. May the Almighty Father bless you all in the name of Jesus Christ.